supposed to represent the community and represent the children. And that feels really icky.
Now at 8, some Portlanders are calling for Cesar Chavez Elementary and Cesar Chavez Boulevard to be renamed after new allegations that he spent decades sexually assaulting and abusing women and girls. What we know coming up.
And in Oregon's biggest school district, the school year could end earlier than expected. We'll tell you why and what the teachers union has to say about it. Plus,
let the madness begin.
You heard Orlando. March Madness kicks off in Portland later this morning, and it's safe to say basketball fans are stoked.
We've been doing this for about 6, 7, 8 years, and before that, my parents took me to the first and second round NCAA regionals every year.
We're talking basketball all morning long. More on the teams playing at the Moda Center today coming up as your News at Sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Happy Thursday, everyone. Happy Spring Eve, as Rod mentioned.
Yeah.
We got to get through the show, guys. My team tips off here in about an hour and 15 minutes, so we got to get this last hour rolling here.
I got nothing really going on the rest of the day, so just sit back and relax with me. Here's a look at our solid rain, which is pretty much Astoria near Longview, where it's been some light showers, and then up towards Seattle. Portland so far is dry, but we are overcast. You drop down into Salem and you brighten up, and you can see it here with the live camera and the beautiful cherry blossoms. 54 degrees is the temperature. Here are the clouds in Portland. A little bit of sun coming through, bouncing off a couple of the high-rise buildings in downtown. 54 is the number. Yeah, really mild out again. So we may or may not see some sprinkles. The chance of even seeing sprinkles gets better and better as you cross the Columbia River northward. I do have us warming up, even without much sun, 60 at noon and 66 for you at 5 p.m. All right, Chris, take your time.
Somebody's got a game to get to, man. I got to get them out the door. And the good news is there's no traffic to hold you up from getting to the Moda Center at this point. We have got, actually, in all seriousness, it's been a relatively easy drive. Here's the trip through West Lynn right now, that lower right-hand part of your screen. That's I-205 and the southbound traffic rolling through the construction zone now, near the Abernathy Bridge. Traffic zipping along just fine there. Something's hanging up the northbound commute heading up over the interstate bridge. I haven't been able to find it on camera. I'll keep looking for it, but just know northbound's running a little thick getting up into Clark County. The southbound drive right there at the interstate bridge, slow and steady, of course, but not bad. We can do a lot worse than 19 minutes. That's the drive time right now, Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Matthew?
Chris, thank you. New this morning, 8 state attorneys general are suing to stop Nexstar's $6.2 billion acquisition of Tegna, the company that owns KGW.
So the suit, led by California and joined by Oregon, New York, Colorado, Connecticut, Illinois, North Carolina, and Virginia, was filed in federal court in Sacramento late Wednesday under antitrust law that urges the Justice Department and FCC to block this merger. California Attorney General Rob Bonta argues that the deal is illegal and would mean higher pay, TV prices, job losses, and less competition in local news, while Nexstar and Tegna say combining the companies would expand local coverage, strengthen their digital offerings, and create more advertising opportunities. Now, President Trump has publicly backed the merger, and FCC Chairman Brendan Carr has also signaled support, even though the combined company would need a waiver or change to current rules that would cap any one broadcaster to reach at 39% of U.S. TV homes.
Now, Nexstar owns or partners with more than 200 stations in 116 markets, including Coin here in Portland, and also operates the CW and News Nation. Tegna, meanwhile, owns 64 stations across 51 markets. 4 of the attorneys general plan to hold a virtual news conference this morning. That began at 7:30.
For generations, the name Cesar Chavez stood for Latino civil rights. But years after his death, the legacy is now tainted by new accusations that Chavez spent decades sexually assaulting and abusing women and girls. The New York Times first reported on 2 women who say that they were 12 and 13 when Chavez groomed and assaulted them. Now, longtime labor leader Dolores Huerta, who worked alongside Chavez, says that he forced her to have sex with him against her will. Chavez, who died more than 3 decades ago, was well known for helping highlight the struggles of field workers in the 1960s. Huerta, who is now 96 years old, says that she stayed silent for years because She didn't want to hurt the farm worker movement. Now across the country, including here in Portland, there's growing concern over public spaces like schools, streets, and parks named in honor of Chavez.
Many community members want a name change as soon as possible, some noting that it's upsetting just seeing the name. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us live. And Corey, the city and school districts say name changes involve a process that may take time.
Matthew, China, good morning. Here in Portland, reaction is already taking shape, with some calling for immediate change and others pushing to rethink what these names represent in the first place. And from a North Portland school to a major city boulevard, the conversation is moving quickly today. Some community members say the name no longer represents or reflects the values of the school. Others are pushing to rename Cesar Chavez Boulevard after labor leader Dolores Huerta, who worked alongside Chavez. Now, a city spokesperson says Mayor Keith Wilson is open to conversations about a potential name change and that the process would be community driven. One neighbor telling KGW the school is meant to represent the community and its children and believes the district should act now to change the name.
Kind of like, wow, how did this take so long? But then look at everything else that's taken so long, the Me Too movement and everything else. And when this stuff gets out, it's good that it gets out and it is corrected, like in a city like Portland.
Now, per city code, one of the first steps would be a petition that would require 2,500 signatures. And Portland Public Schools also says it's processing the recent news, but noting that any school renaming would include community engagement and also a board vote. Back to you.
Our Corey Johnson reporting live. Corey, thank you very much. Meantime, Oregon's biggest school district may end the school year a few days early.
Yeah, according to the Willamette Week, a class could end in Portland Public Schools on June 5th as the district tries to make up for a budget deficit. Our Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us from Portland Public Schools headquarters. Thomas, so what else do we know here?
Well, guys, Portland Public Schools teachers have been asked to take 4 furlough days, and if this is agreed to by teachers, it would mean that school would end the first week of June. According to Willamette Week, May 1st, May 25th, June 9th, and June 10th would become furlough days for teachers. Negotiations are happening as Portland Public Schools' mid-year budget gap has grown to $14 million. The district is also facing another $50 million deficit for next school year. These budget issues have hung over PPS all year long, with some staff members telling us they've been worried for months about the possibility of layoffs or furlough days. We spoke to PPS administrators about the deficit earlier this month. They tell us they're trying to reach an agreement quickly.
Really trying to make sure that we come to an agreement as soon as possible so that we can give as much lead time to our families and community if there is going to be an interruption.
Superintendent Dr. Kimberly Armstrong says central office leaders will take 5 furlough days. Armstrong will take 6. Still, Portland's teachers union says their trust in the district's ability to navigate finances is broken, and says the union will be doing a forensic analysis of the budget themselves. And guys, the best way to think about this idea and these furlough possibilities, this is a Band-Aid. Long-term solutions like closing schools are still in consideration for the future, according to Superintendent Armstrong. Still, if the furlough days do come to fruition, that's all contingent on the teachers agreeing to that. They're having a vote right now. Teachers have until Friday at 5 p.m. to cast their ballot. Matthew, China.
Thomas Schultz reporting live. Thomas, thank you very much.
Your new Jefferson High School Rose Festival princess is Talia Pratt.
A big congratulations to Talia Pratt, a senior at Jefferson High School, for being the newest member of the Rose Festival Court. After high school, she's hoping to attend a 4-year university to study criminal justice with a minor in theater. After that, she hopes to be a civil rights attorney and act in community theater. During her time at Jefferson, she was in the book club, theater club, choir, and was the student body vice president and thespian Troop 124's co-president.
And junior Caitlin Alexander has been named the Rose Princess for Cleveland High School. After attending college, Caitlin hopes to become a pharmaceutical scientist or medical researcher. She served on the theater council and was part of the speech and debate team, as well as being student body treasurer, co-captain of Cleveland's competitive cheer team, and in girls golf. A big congrats to both princesses right there.
Well, congratulations to both them. 8:09. Time to head over to Rod for another look at the forecast.
Did I hear she plays golf?
Yep.
I was going to say, you working on your swing over there?
Well, we said she plays golf, I think. Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
She's the captain of Cleveland competitive chair team and in girls golf.
Yeah.
There you go.
The point is she plays golf. Here's a look at our radar. We've got rain in Astoria, pardon me. Light showers kind of clipping Longview. So far, Portland has been overcast but dry. We may stay that way. I do have a chance of mainly some sprinkles or traces of rain in the Rose City's forecast today, but this is another day that generally the moisture stays to our north. Now, Astoria, you have been the bullseye of rain more often than not for our local region. And Futurecast, this is this morning, likes you getting rain kind of throughout the day. There's some more rain pushing through even into this evening for you folks. Here's the Chehalem Tasting Room camera in Sherwood. Boy, that's pretty. Yellow, oranges, Mount Hood on the left. Temperature 52, very mild. Some breaks in the cloud cover from Willamette Valley Vineyards too, down in Turner, just south of Salem. So again, you get down to the Mid-Valley and you've got some decent sun today, and you folks will be whoop right back up into the 70s. Numbers. Eugene 44, it was a record high 77 yesterday, Eugene. Bend is 50. You get north up into Redmond, and it was a record high of 80 yesterday. Here's a look at the afternoon numbers. More 70s than sun, central, eastern areas of our state. The Dalles 70, Albany, Eugene. Portland I've got at 66 degrees with the rain generally to our north as we talked about, but maybe a sprinkle. Some passing rain at times tomorrow, but not a lot. There'll be some dry time tomorrow as well. Spring begins, and your weekend still looks good. A little bit cooler. 57 on Saturday, 59 degrees on Sunday. That is your 7-day forecast.
Rodney, that looks awesome. All right, we found the trouble on the Interstate Bridge, and as fast as we found it, the good news is it's cleared. I did want to point out, though, that northbound I-5 is running a little busier than usual. In fact, this is at Marine Drive. We'll take you a little farther south towards the Expo Center. Usually it's the other way around. This is like resembling the afternoon commute, right, heading north. From Columbia Boulevard up past the Expo Center, we're running pretty thick. There was a disabled vehicle there just a couple of minutes ago. It's cleared, but traffic is running a little busy on that side of town. Of course, crossing in the other direction, we've got our normal slow and go 16 minutes right now. I'll get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge, and we'll hop on over to the west side here, Highway 26, the inbound climb from 217 up towards Sylvan, getting busy as well. Right now, you're tripping from Hillsborough, holding right around 23 minutes.
Thank you, Christopher.
The vibe is going to be spectacular.
Immaculate. Rip City ready to welcome the country's top college basketball players. More on all the March Madness hype here in Portland in just a few minutes, and with big sporting events including March Madness taking over Portland. What does that mean for the state's economy? We look into a new statewide study after this.
I'm Matthew Herchick, new morning anchor at KGW. I'm a huge sports fan, and I know I might be from the Buckeye State, but I'm excited to explore what the Rose City has to offer. I want to make sure you're prepared for the day, whether it's bringing you breaking news or sharing those inspirational stories that make you smile. We've got you covered. Because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to Portland's #1 streaming newscast, Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
March Madness tips off here in the Rose City later this morning when the Wisconsin Badgers face the High Point Panthers just before 11 o'clock.
Alma McCarty caught up with fans who flocked to Portland ahead of the first round.
These games normally attract a bunch of sports fans and makes it a kind of that much better of an environment.
Tomorrow, the vibe is going to be spectacular.
And thousands of fans are traveling from near and far to see their favorite teams take the court starting Thursday morning at Moda.
I would hope that some people from Arkansas will be here, but otherwise I will be loud and proud.
And that includes the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
It's nice that they're playing in Portland, Spokane. I mean, it's not too far away. So it's nice to be staying in the West Coast.
I flew out this morning from Greensboro.
For some, like Leonard Jackson, it's a first-time trip as he follows North Carolina's High Point Panthers.
Never been to Oregon before. So now I can check this off one of my states. I want to go to all 50. I'm up to about 38 now.
Last March, he was in Rhode Island for the school's very first appearance in the NCAA tournament.
Second year in a row, and I've been to both of them.
Others carry on a March Madness tradition, heading to the closest host city, wherever that might be, to watch the first two rounds, or the practice.
We've been doing this for about 6, 7, 8 years, and before that, my parents took me to the first and second round NCAA regionals every year, and from Missoula it's only a flight away, and we normally, in the kind of the off days or this evening, we're going to find a sports bar to hang out and watch the play-in games.
We make a mother-son trip for every March Madness practice. The players are way more laid back, and it hasn't officially started yet, and so they're usually willing to come over and talk, and the boys love it.
It's just an amazing experience to be able to meet people that you've always looked up to. Whenever I watch a basketball game, it's just like I'm actually playing a game.
That's right, and that was Alma McCarty reporting. Meanwhile, with March Madness just a few hours away this morning, we're getting a closer look at how sports tourism is impacting the state's economy. A new statewide study looked at the economic impact of professional and D1 college sports in Oregon in 2024. It found that sporting events brought 1.3 million non-local visitors to the area, with those visitors spending more than $300 million at hotels, restaurants, and retail establishments. The study also found these teams and events supported 8,700 jobs for a total economic impact of $1.7 billion. Now, looking ahead, the CEO of Sport Oregon points to the construction of the new Hillsboro Hop Stadium and training facilities for the Timbers, Thorns, and Portland Fire as being a huge driver for construction jobs in the metro. He also calls the renovations to the aging Moda Center critical, since it's set to host the 2030 NCAA Women's Final Four.
If we don't upgrade this facility and this district, that will be the last major sports event that this Rose Quarter hosts.
And next year, he's hoping the study goes even deeper to look at the economic impact of youth and travel sports. And in other sports headlines, check out this insane milkshake being served up this season at Diamondbacks games. I got to take a look here real quick.
It's called Take Me Out to the Ball Game. More like
yeah.
Take Me Out of the Universe with all that sugar.
What is all that?
Well, I'll tell you. The team posted on X, again, it's called Take Me Out to the Ball Game. It's a salted caramel shake loaded with whipped cream, peanut butter sandwich cookies, Kit Kats, my all-time favorite, chocolate bar, and Cracker Jacks. Sign me up. Yeah, I could do without maybe the Cracker Jacks, but listen, everything else, I'm in.
I feel like salted caramel has really become a thing. Like truffle fries became a thing. Yeah. Salted caramel.
Yeah, I'd probably be the only thing I could get down at the game. But
I bet you that's at. I
What
want to say at least $15.
I was going to say.
Might be more like $22, $23.
I was going to say closer to 20 probably.
Yeah.
I tell you, when your buddy
totally
says,
worth it though.
Let's go to the game. So they have the tickets, but you've got to then buy the concessions.
Yeah.
Not a win.
This is not a win. That's right. It's not a win. Here's a look at our Wednesday high map. This is a list of some of the hot spots that caught my eye. Redmond, I've been saying 80. It was 81 yesterday was the record for you folks over in Central Oregon. Holy cow, Eugene had a record tie at 77. Portland, not a record, but the first 70-degree day of 2026 went into the books at 71. Salem at 71 and Vancouver hit 70 degrees. So remember last week on the 7-day, we threw up on St. Patty's Day. At one point, I had 71. And then we ended up being 68 on Monday. It was, I think, low 60s on St. Patrick's Day, if my memory's right. And then we hit 71 yesterday. So, I mean, overall, that wasn't a bad projection to say, hey, we're looking warm next week. That part of the projection has certainly come true. Here's a look at the clouds streaming mainly with the rain under them, or falling from them, if you will, mainly up to our north. But again, Astoria's getting clipped. Kelso Longview, you continue to see some light showers in proximity. This shows there could be some sprinkles coming through Portland today. That would be about it. This is mainly a dry day. We've got 2 o'clock this afternoon. It's wet going up to Seattle like it has been. And then here's tonight, a little shot of moisture coming through. Maybe this hits Portland later this evening and the north coast, of course. And then here's tomorrow at 11 a.m. This is the front that comes through. Eventually, it pushes some rain down to the South Lama Valley, but it wasn't much. Now, the timing on what won't be much total rain tomorrow still has the rain chance gone and even the thicker clouds pushing out by sunup Saturday morning, which is what you're looking at here. So our weekend still looks dry with a good bit of sun and comfortable, temperatures well up into the 50s during the afternoon. We might actually have some freezing spots in the valley Sunday morning. Haven't seen any frost in a while. We could Sunday morning. Here's a look at the rain total map. And this is mostly from that front that comes in on Friday. But notice from Portland southward, 1/10 of an inch or less generally. Now, Astoria, this is a 2-day rain number, 1.12 today and tomorrow. Same thing up in Kelso Longview at 44 1/100 of an inch. Pioneer Park Building looking out over the courthouse in Pioneer Place, 54 degrees. Temperatures are really nice, most spots. It is freezing in Burns. Baker City's now up to 38 degrees. Remember, the north coast is the bullseye for rain. There could actually be some rain down in Lincoln County, but dry most of the time. Newport, good morning, 59 expected for you folks. Central Oregon, again, up in record territory. This shows Bend at 79 degrees. I have Portland at 66 today, and then 60 for the first day of spring, which is tomorrow. And then we've got all dry weekend, 57 Saturday, 59 Sunday. Next rain comes in on Tuesday and Wednesday. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. We've got some new trouble in southeast Portland. We'll take you there. Not that. Sorry for that. That was a snapshot from yesterday, actually. This is over in southeast. We'll zoom in on the westbound Ross Island Bridge, actually right near the bridge entrance here above McLaughlin Boulevard. You can see emergency responders and medics there with the westbound right lane blocked and traffic now backed up a good 1.5 miles here, 7 miles an hour or less now, that commute on westbound Powell. So as you work your way in from that side of town, obviously plan a few extra minutes at this time. We'll switch gears, take up to North Portland. Earlier trouble on northbound I-5 has cleared. That's out of the way. We're back to a speed limit clip there. Of course, the southbound side of the freeway is always slow, and that's what it looks like right now past the Expo Center. 18 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Christine Padawanich. I'm a journalist at KGW, and I love exploring Portland's amazing food scene. New spot? I'm there. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the good stuff that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
The KGW Great Food Drive is still going on, and we need your help to reach our goal of providing over 1 million meals to local people and families in need. So far, we've provided more than 650,000 meals, but there is still more work to be done. One way that you can help is by making a donation at any Rivermark Community Credit Union branch. You can also drop off food in person this weekend at the Timbers Match. We will be at Providence Park collecting donations before kickoff there. And then all week long, Pacific Foods will match donations up to the first $5,000. For all of the ways that you can donate, go to kgw.com/food drive. And we want to thank local Toyota dealers, Pacific Office Automation, Rivermark Community Credit Union, and Safeway for supporting this year's food drive. Well, the FBI is now reportedly investigating Joe Kent, saying he allegedly leaked classified information during his time as the director of the National Counterterrorism Center. The latest on that investigation coming up. Plus,
Care for each other and love her. To give her flowers. Get her Starbucks every day.
Yep.
well, the kids, they do make some good points. Coming up at 8:30, a look at what second graders think is the key to a happy marriage.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
I'm Trina Green, a morning anchor at KGW and new dog mom to this sweet guy. Meet Barry. I love getting your mornings off to a great start, whether it's sharing stories of resilience and triumph in our community, or following breaking news from Beaverton to Gresham and everywhere in between. We've got you covered, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to KGW Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Good morning, I'm China Green. The FBI is now investigating whether Joe Kent improperly shared classified information. According to the Associated Press, the investigation precedes Kent's resignation from his position as director of the National Counterterrorism Center earlier this week. Kent stepped down from his post, saying that he didn't agree with President Trump's decision to go to war in Iran. Headed over to Rod Hill for a look at your weather.
Well, for some of you, it's a wet morning. Astoria, good morning. I'm talking to you, and also up in the Long Beach Ocean Park, Kelso, Longview have had a little bit of rain, but for the most part, if you look at Portland as a center point, this is all up to the north. Now, if you go over to Central Oregon, you're going to find more 70s today. Kind of partly sunny over there right now. This is on the Warm Springs Reservation, Canita Hot Springs Resort, where it could be 70 plus today. Portland 60 at noon, 66 at 5 p.m. Like we had Tuesday, there could be some sprinkles at times, otherwise dry. Tomorrow we will get some passing showers, 60 for the first day of spring. And right now your first weekend of spring looks all dry, a little bit cooler, but still pleasant. I have Saturday at 57 degrees.
Well, at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, crews are relocating the statue of Edgar Martinez from its current spot on the south side of the stadium to make room for a new statue honoring Ichiro Suzuki. The statue will be unveiled on April 10th. The Edgar Martinez statue will be positioned right between Ichiro and Ken Griffey Jr., creating a lineup of franchise legends just outside the ballpark.
Couldn't they
All right,
just put...
the end made it a little bit better, saved it
Yeah.
a little bit, but
Yeah.
I did kind of feel bad when I first started reading that. Like,
Well, you're out.
Ichiro's a legend, but sorry, Edgar, you're out.
Yeah.
So
We buried the lead.
yeah, I guess so.
We have 3 awesome ex-major leaguers there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right. I can remember as being kind of a sad day for Ed.
Yeah, right? Like, sorry.
Here's a look at our radar this morning. This is the same weather pattern we've been tracking really all week, and that's the rain and the thicker cloud cover to our north. Another wet day up in Seattle. Now, the one spot locally that's had rain, I think, pretty much every day at times is Astoria. You're getting more of it this morning. We've had some passing showers in Kelso, Longview. Now, so far, Portland is dry, but realize we're right on the edge. It wouldn't take much to at least get some sprinkles passing through. You drop south of Portland, and it's the same old story. No chance of rain in Salem. Beautiful cherry blossoms were zoomed in along the Capitol Mall. They're just absolutely stunning. 54 is the temperature. You saw the sun bouncing off of the blossoms there. We have clouds over downtown Portland, but a dry morning. Look how glassy the Willamette is. 54 degrees, no wind. The forecast, maybe a sprinkle, maybe not. 60 at noon, 66 at 5 p.m. And this is another day where we will see a whole fistful of 70s. If you haven't heard, Redmond hit 81 yesterday. Over in Central Oregon today, this shows Madras 76, Bend 77, Sun River 72. The South Valley down to Eugene will again be in the 70s today. And pretty much everybody out east in the 70s. Burns in the 20s this morning, warming to 78 today. Big warm up. Wow. And then we've got the rain zone up around Astoria, and at times only about 60 in Kelso, Longview because of some clipping rain showers moving through your area. Our 7-day forecast, spring begins local time 7:46 Friday morning. We'll have some passing rain, but not a lot. The rain, though, could be fairly widespread, at least those of us that get some. 60 the high. And then the weekend looks dry in the 50s to nearing 60 on Sunday. The next batch of rain comes in on Tuesday and Wednesday. Final day of winter, Mr. McGinnis.
We're all shedding tears over that. All right. Kidding, of course. Over on the east side, I've got a traffic alert right now on the Ross Island Bridge. So this crash has been there for at least 15 minutes now. Westbound, you can see that medics are there with a westbound right lane blocked. I'm not sure if this truck, this semi, is involved with the crash, but it's been there for quite a bit as well. So in any event, westbound Powell Boulevard is lined up here for a good mile or so approaching the Ross Island Bridge. It's also, of course, then having the ripple effect of slowing the transition off of 99E northbound onto the westbound Ross Island Bridge. That's always a brutal commute anyway, but now it's getting obviously extra slow with that crash scene. All right, back to the drive through North Portland. It's improving a bit, but we're still a little slow and go up near the Expo Center. 20 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Here's a quick check of the Banfield I-84 westbound. Normal slow and go there. Same story over on the west side. There's the Sunset. Here's Sylvan. Right now you're tripping from Hillsborough, 26 minutes.
Thank you, Chris. We start with some sad news here at KGW. Chaz Briggs right there, an independent videographer who worked with all of the major news stations here in town, including KGW, has died unexpectedly. Now, you may not have realized it, but if you watch our channel, you've seen his work many times over the years.
That's right. Chaz often worked overnight hours, so if something like a fire or a crash happened at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, he was there shooting the video that you would see on our Sunrise show and other newscasts throughout the day. Many of our producers, editors, and reporters worked closely with Chaz throughout the years, getting to know him not just as a hard worker during difficult hours, but also as a great human being. His family tells us he died unexpectedly in his sleep. They also tell us if anybody out there wants to make a donation in his honor to please give to your local animal shelter, saying that he would have loved that. Chaz Briggs was 65 years old.
Construction is well underway to open the biggest detox center in Salem.
Yeah, the new center will hold 34 detox beds along with a sobering center. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz gives us a look.
Well, this is a huge expansion for Salem for people looking to detox from alcohol or drugs or who just want a place to get sober. Construction is ongoing, and it's not just open to Salem residents. Dr. Carlos Obed Texador Maldonado, the CEO of Bridgeway Community Health, says people from across the state can come there which will be a big boost, he says, for all of Oregon. Bridgeway staff say the state has fallen far behind in available services in recent years. So here's how it'll work. Once someone arrives for detox treatment, Obed Texter Maldonado says they're screened by a provider to determine if they need medical supervision for withdrawal. Once they complete detox, people can be connected to additional treatment to help wean off of drugs or alcohol. Obed Texador Maldonado says this facility will be a game changer to ensure people who want help get it.
You know, there's nothing worse when an individual's ready to make those changes and there's nowhere to go and nobody to provide the care.
This building has been in the works for years. It's fitted with separate wings for sobering and detox treatment, along with a state-of-the-art kitchen, living space, and personal rooms. And it's huge, around 22,000 square feet. It's being funded through Measure 110 and a state House bill. Now, construction is still ongoing, but they hope to have the facility open by May. Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
New developments after former Trump administration official Joe Kent resigned from his post criticizing the war in Iran. The Northwest native is now reportedly being investigated by the FBI. According to the Associated Press, the FBI is investigating whether Kent improperly shared classified information.
An AP source says that the investigation precedes Kent's resignation Tuesday. Additional details are not available right now, but Kent stepped down from his post, saying that he didn't agree with President Trump's decision to go to war in Iran and that, quote, Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. Kent previously ran for Congress twice in Southwest Washington, losing both times to Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez.
And a big step forward for a long-awaited project in North Portland, the city revealing the final design for a new aquatic center that's meant to serve tens of thousands of people in the community.
Center's reporter Corey Johnson shows us what's planned and when construction could begin.
Well, this is a project that's been in the works since the winter of 2022, and now the community gets a chance to see what the final design will look like for the North Portland Aquatic Center. Parks and Rec leaders say the indoor facility will be built at Northgate Park, which will remain in place with its soccer field, tennis courts, and paved pathways. The center will include 2 pool sites, one with a tubular slide, lazy river, and hot tub access, and the other will be for competitions. The project costs just over $91 million, including $15 million for state lottery funds, and it will be open year-round. And Parks and Rec officials tell me they were intentional in rooting the facility in North Portland because it's going to serve communities that need access to swimming.
This center will serve approximately projecting about 70,000 people across North Portland. And that includes about a quarter of those are Black people, Indigenous people, people of color, and then about 14% are people living with low income below the poverty line. So I'd say a lot of excitement. People are asking, can we get it done sooner? We want to use this pool.
Now, groundbreaking is expected for the fall of 2027, with construction taking about 2 years to complete. Back to you.
All right, so the old saying goes, happy wife, happy life. But how do you actually achieve that?
Well, a second grade teacher who just got engaged turned to her students for advice on how to make a marriage work. NBC's Haley Jackson has that story.
For second grade teacher Clarissa Trevino, her most personal class assignment yet.
I love my students, absolutely love them. They're the funniest kids. I just wanted to have them involved with something, with the wedding.
When her boyfriend Omar proposed, Trevino immediately started thinking about how to include the class. So she turned to them for marriage tips.
The marriage advice I give my teacher is care for each other and love her.
To give her flowers. Get her Starbucks every day.
Not eating each other's snacks.
Oh, yeah.
That one's very important too.
Now, happily on their honeymoon, the couple says they've already started putting the advice to good use.
To take her on a date and go to a 5-star restaurant.
Yeah, he's going places. He knows. And I did just that when we got to Vegas where we had our wedding. I went ahead and got the corner table at the Eiffel Tower.
Trevino posting the words of wisdom on TikTok, where it now has 500,000 views.
The marriage advice I give my teacher is to be kind and love each other.
You know, these are 7 and 8-year-olds talking about, love is kind, so it was really nice to kind of see how they thought.
Kids
are amazing.
Yeah.
That means good parenting. All right, your time now is 8:40. Headed over to Chris McGinnis for a look at your traffic.
Yeah, guys, we pick it up with that traffic alert in southeast Portland. This crash on the westbound Ross Island Bridge right there. Westbound right lane is blocked. It's been there for about 30 minutes, and now traffic is really stacking up into southeast Portland on Powell Boulevard. I'll slap the speed sensors here. You can see westbound moving along at 6 miles an hour, and the lineup is out past Cesar Chavez now, out deep into southeast. You got about a 2.5, 3 mile delay here. Running really, really thick. Also, of course, which is always the slow spot during the morning commute, is the 99E transition to westbound Powell and the Ross Island Bridge. That, too, is extra backed up. So give yourself a few extra minutes for sure to get around that. Back up to North Portland we go. There's the live look up near the Expo Center. I-5 still slow and go. There's the inbound Sunset still slow and go coming in from 217. At last check, you're tripping from Hillsborough, averaging about 26 minutes. Guys?
Chris, thank you.
We have a huge fan base down here, and it's easy for our fans to get here.
We are counting down the hours until March Madness tips off here in Portland. More on the teams playing at the Moda Center today when Sunrise returns in 3 minutes.
Hey everybody, you know here at ShopTVDeals.com, we love to bring you products that can make a huge difference in your life, and today we definitely have one of those kind of deals. Listen to this. We all know these days you get the big screen in your car, it shows you what's going on behind you as you reverse. But check this out. The Minolta dash cam takes that kind of protection to a whole new level. You have this front camera right here that gives you a 130-degree view of the road and a view inside the car as well. I just want to show you the view that you get on the dash cam here. Take a look at that. Really sharp, really high resolution, crystal clear image. There are features I love about this camera. Number one, infrared lights give you that inside view. It illuminates the inside of the car. Also, a special sensor comes on. Even when the car is parked, the cameras will roll if someone tries to break in or dings you in the shopping mall parking lot. How many times has that happened? It really is great for rideshare drivers and just everyday people. If something happens to you in the car, police these days ask for dash cam video. Insurance companies want it. It helps you with other drivers. So it really is about protecting you in case anything goes wrong with the car. You have it all here, that kind of footage. So let's be honest, you really can't put a price on protection, and we have a really, really great deal for you today. You get this entire camera system for 41% off. That is a great, great deal here. So for more information, just scan the QR code there at the bottom of your screen or check us out at ShopTVDeals.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Well, it's the day the basketball fans across the country have been waiting for. Today, March Madness tips off right here in Portland.
Orlando Sanchez has a front row seat to all the best matchups.
Let the madness begin. The road to the Final Four rolls through the Rose City. 8 teams from around the country are here in Portland with one goal in mind: survive and advance. The dance is back in Portland.
Love Portland, love coming to Portland, obviously love staying in the Northwest.
Driving distance from the kennel. It's a home away from home for the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
We have a huge fan base down here, and it's easy for our fans to get here.
Head coach Mark Few is an Oregonian. He's from Creswell. This is an opportunity to be back in his home state.
It's great for me to get back, relatively close to home. My dad's not able to travel, but it's nice that we're close enough, and the family can get down to see him maybe in the break in between games.
The last time Gonzaga played in Portland for the NCAA tournament, 4 years ago. Freshman Alonzo Metz was an underclassman at Jesuit High School.
It was amazing. I got all the family coming out here. Grew up in Portland for 16 years of my life, moved to Miami. So we came back here, getting the chance to play here in this arena. So many memories coming here to go to Blazer games, all that. So it's a really cool experience.
Gonzaga sports 30 wins on the season, earning the 3 seed and a heavy favorite in their first round matchup against number 14 Kennesaw State. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock Thursday night. A win sets up a date with either Texas or BYU. Cougar star A.J. DeBonsa is projected to be one of the top picks in the upcoming NBA draft. The early session features High Point versus Wisconsin and Hawaii versus Arkansas. Winners of Thursday's games will advance to the second round and play right back here on Saturday. Reporting from the Moda Center, Orlando Sanchez, KGW Sports.
And Rod Hill is standing by on the deck, the KGW weather deck. Basketball.
Your jump shot is just picture perfect form, Rod.
Do you ever notice sometimes the players would do that and then they hold it and you're like, dude, you missed everything.
No.
It's like, bring it down.
Lower.
The second you miss everything, lower the arm. Here's a look at our weather deck, brought to you by Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking. Solid overcast. As I look around, I could see pretty high up on Mount St. Helens to the right, so visibility is actually pretty good. One of the big stories nationally is the hot weather out west. Take a look. Now, we started the week with the cold weather out east making news, but today Cincinnati back up into the 60s, Chicago back up into the 50s. But if you look out west, this is 4 o'clock our local time this afternoon. Phoenix 103, Vegas 96, Reno's in the 80s. We actually had 81 up in Redmond here in Central Oregon yesterday. So we're on the northern edge of this very warm weather pattern. And as you know, we've had some of our own record temperatures, mostly in the 70s this week. Eugene had another record in the 70s yesterday. You can see the main fetch of cloudiness and rain continues to be to our north. This hasn't budged much going all the way back to Monday, but it has been meandering somewhat. And today it's meandered just slightly back to the south. So we're getting some rain at times up around Astoria, Kelso, Longview. And I opened the door for maybe some sprinkles at some point here in Portland, otherwise dry. The rain potential map is mostly what's going to come in tomorrow. Look at Portland, Salem, Corvallis, around 1/10 of an inch, less than that down in Eugene. So, a handful of days ago, tomorrow looked pretty wet, but now it looks like just some passing rain at times and not much more than that. This does show Astoria over 1 inch of rain, and part of that is what will be falling today, actually, up along our north coast in Clatsop County. Providence Park camera for you looking up at the West Hills. Temperature in the metro is generally in the 50s here around Portland. Here is the map. 54 right now out of PDX, same in Salem. 51 up in Kelso. The Dow's 47. You've got to get out into Burns to find freezing temperatures, but don't worry about our friends out in Burns because their forecast high today well back up into the 70s after a chilly start. All right, speaking of 70s, there's Salem and Corvallis, 70, 71. Generally a partly sunny day. Southwest Washington, more of an overcast day with the ongoing chance of some sprinkles or some passing light showers, especially once you get up into Cowlitz County. 7-day forecast numbers. Final day of winter, 66 degrees. Tomorrow, spring begins in the morning hours, 60, some passing rain, but not a ton. And then a dry weekend with highs settling back down into the 50s. I mean, Sunday could get up to 60. Rain next Tuesday and Wednesday. It is birthday time. And our party on this Thursday starts with Jude. Happy birthday, 5 years old today. Harper is 7 today. Happy birthday to you. Isabella is now 12 years old. Great picture there with her dog, it looks like. Happy birthday to you. And Todd, flexing the muscles. Didn't tell us how old you are. Dude, if you're gonna flex, you've got to tell us how old you are so we can know whether to be impressed or not. That's our list today. Birthdays at KGW.com, and we will celebrate with you. It's pretty nice up here, Chris.
It looks it. Sounds like a little breeze up there too. All right, let's go ahead and take you back to that traffic alert in Southeast Portland. Some good news after a blockage here for quite a while. That earlier crash appears to have cleared. This is westbound approaching the Ross Island Bridge right above McLaughlin Boulevard. So of course it is strategically placed to make the drive coming northbound off of McLaughlin Boulevard extra terrible this morning. But again, that has cleared. So a little bit of good news there. Over on the west side, the inbound Sunset still slow, climbing the hill from 217 up to Sylvan. But again, we could do worse than this on a Thursday morning at this hour. 26 minutes, your commute time to get you in from Hillsborough. And the drive in from Wilsonville, we've got that whittled down to 22 minutes at last check.
I'm David Mulco, the evening anchor at KGW. Though when I'm not working, I like to spend as much time as possible out here in nature. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. You see, what happens here affects us all. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to talk about it, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
In a wrap of our top stories this morning, new accusations allege the late labor rights leader Cesar Chavez spent decades sexually assaulting and abusing women and girls. The New York Times first reported on 2 women who say that they were 12 and 13 when Chavez groomed and assaulted them. Now, some Portlanders are calling for public spaces like Cesar Chavez Elementary and Cesar Chavez Boulevard to be renamed. Meantime, Portland Public Schools could end the school year a few days early as the district tries to make up for a budget deficit. Teachers have been asked to take 4 furlough days. If agreed to, school would end on June 5th, with the furlough days happening in May and June. And the FBI is reportedly investigating whether Joe Kent improperly shared classified information. According to the Associated Press, the investigation precedes Kent's resignation from his position as a director of National Counterterrorism Center earlier this week. He stepped down from his post, saying that he didn't agree with President Trump's decision to go to war in Iran.
And our forecast again, maybe we see some sprinkles in Portland, maybe we don't. For the most part, just a cloudy 66-degree day. Pretty nice to be out and about. We've got some passing rain tomorrow and then a dry weekend, a dry spring weekend, actually.
Let's get back to that traffic alert in Southeast Portland. The upper left-hand corner of your screen, that is westbound Powell Boulevard near the Ross Island Bridge. An earlier crash was there for about 30 minutes. The good news is the crash is cleared. Bad news is westbound Powell is still pretty backed up, so your drive's going to take a few extra minutes in from that side of town. The rest of the freeway commutes are actually starting to whittle down pretty nicely.
We'll call it hiding in plain sight. Some Australian travelers got a furry surprise when they found a wild possum sitting among a bunch of stuffed animals at an airport gift shop in Tasmania. Look at that. An airport employee described the animal as, quote, pretty comfortable with his friends there. The possum later left the shop and walked around the terminal. So there you go.
That
would be startling.
Yes, you're reaching in and you're like, this one's soft.
This one's moving.
Has a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's gonna be a no for me. Hey, reminder that you can watch Sunrise every day live here exclusively on KGW Plus starting at 7 o'clock. We also have another half hour of news at 12:30 and 5:30 right here on Plus. We hope to see you then. Have a great day.